All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Judge Jackie Powell, and we are on the afternoon docket. We do have a number of on our first appearance docket, and so we will start the afternoon with those. When I call your name, I'm going to ask you to come up, and I am going to let you know that everything in this courtroom is being recorded, so you may not want to talk about your case, because today's not your trial date, and anything that you say today can be used against you at a later date. We will begin with Ashley Nascimento. I don't know if that one went out of order or something, but that's...
Judge, Ms. Nascimento is here, President. Come on up, ma'am.
All right, ma'am, you are before the court this afternoon for Count 1, touch or strike battery. Count 2, criminal mischief. Count 3, resisting officer without violence. I do find probable cause, and I'll hear from the parties as to bond.
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $3,500 bond, no victim contact. She was arrested last year for domestic violence battery and assault against a different alleged victim. Looks like the charges were just dropped March 26th of this year. She was arrested in 2017, one count of domestic violence battery, another count of simple battery against different alleged victims, and those charges were dropped as well.
Great.
Judge, and speaking of Ms. Nascimento, she does not believe that her mother is going to be able to afford the $3,500. We're going to be asking the court to consider on this misdemeanor battery offense a $1,000 bond, along with count 2, that would be a $500 bond. So a total of $1,500 on behalf of Ms. Nascimento. And speaking with her, she's been residing here in our community her whole entire life. She is employed. She works at a place called Tattoos by Lou, where she's a cashier, and she's been employed about 1 year, making approximately $4 plus tip. Now, she does live with her mother. Her mother, I believe, takes care of children for a living, and that's who she's been in contact with to post her bond. So that's why she feels certain if the court were inclined to set about a $1,000 bond, that is something that she will be able to afford.
Are there any mental health concerns?
Judge, at this time in my conversations with her, with my limited contact with her, I have no, issues at this time.
All right, I do find probable cause, and I am going to impose a $3,500 bond, no victim contact. On count 1 and count 2 is $500. Beverly Armand.
Bonded.
Diana Taylor.
I did have probable cause argument with regards to count.
On who?
Ziana Taylor? I'm sorry, I wrote it on the wrong piece.
Maybe on the one that bonded?
I wrote it on the wrong paper. I'll find it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the next case.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
All right. Ms. Taylor, you are before the court on a traffic capias and a felony capias matter. Count 2 is not for magistrate. There is a no bond hold. I do find probable cause. And there's a $500 bond on count 1. You have court Monday and Tuesday of next week on these cases. All right? All right, Andrina Jones.
She's approaching Judge here at Maine.
All right, there's no age reference.
I would just be asking the court to find probable cause for battery.
Okay. All right. Was there another argument? No, Your Honor. Okay. All right. So you're before the court for robbery, no firearm. As to count 2, I'll find probable cause for battery. Count 3 is false imprisonment. I do find probable cause as to all 3 counts. As to bond, are you here on this case, sir? Okay. Was there something that you wanted to say? How are you related to Miss Jones? Okay.
More support.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would be requesting a $5,000 bond on count 1. Based on your finding on count 2, 1,000 and 1,000 on 3, in order of no victim contact.
All right.
Judge, I'm going to be requesting counts 2 and 3 are reasonable. On count 1, I'm going to be requesting a $2,000 bond. This is why, Judge. Ms. Jones, right now she's receiving government assistance. She gets approximately $968. She takes care of her 3 kids and her many grandchildren. She lives locally here in Fort Lauderdale. She pays approximately $147 a month in housing, and she receives Section 8 housing assistance. She's been here her whole entire life. She's from here. Judge, at this time, she does have family, and she appreciates support here today. She does have, like I said, family that lives in our community. She'll be reaching out to them. One person that she did tell me is her mother, but her mother is on disability as well and is on a fixed income. So therefore, as you can see from everything that I've had my conversation with Ms. Jones, she has limited financial resources, and that is why I'm going to be asking for a $2,000 bond on count 1, $1,000 bond on count 2, $1,000 3, so a total of $4,000 on Ms. Jones' behalf.
Does Ms. Jones have any priors?
I just saw an old possession of cocaine that she went through drug court on, and that it was dismissed through drug court.
Okay. So, as to count 1, I'll impose a $2,000 bond. Count 2, 1,000. Count 3, 1,000. No victim contact. Okay. Thank you, sir. Ariana Dolcine.
Bonded.
Ashley Montalvo.
She's approaching. Come on, okay.
Ms. Montalvo, you are before the court. Count 1, possession of cannabis over 20 grams. Count 2 is not for magistrate, it's a traffic infraction. I do find probable cause.
Judge, I'm going to be asking for the court to consider releasing Ms. Montalvo, ROR, or in the alternative on pretrial release. I'll see if the state has an objection before I proceed.
I don't have an objection to pretrial.
We have no problem with pretrial, Judge.
All right, Ms. Montalvo, I will release you to pretrial supervision services. I am, all right, just pretrial. Standard pretrial is what I meant. Brianna Suanan.
Call Roger, Rihanna.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you're before the court for driving while license suspended. And count 2 is a traffic infraction, not for magistrate, and I do find probable cause. Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon. All right, how are you related to Ms. Suanan?
We're her parents,
Okay.
and she's a good kid. She's in school right now.
Works full time.
And she's working full time. She's trying to get her degree in teaching,
Okay.
and she has a great support system around her.
All right. Okay. Did you post her bond? So then you didn't have to say all of that. You had posted the bond already. All right. I do find probable cause, and your bond, you need to say thanks to your parents for being here.
Thank you.
And they've posted your bond, and you need to work on getting your license in order. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Yeah, she's, yeah.
All right. Shakira Johnson.
Ms.
Yes.
Johnson is here
Good day,
present,
Judge.
Maine. She's here.
All right, Ms. Johnson, you are before the court for count 1, false ID given to law enforcement officer. Count 2, possession of cocaine. Counts 3 and 4, felony violation of probation. Those are no bond holds on those 2, and so you'll be before your division judge on Monday on those charges.
Your Honor,
Actually,
it would appear her felony judge ordered her ROR to pretrial GPS on all of her charges.
Okay,
Judge Garcia.
so she's ROR to pretrial on
GPS.
GPS. All right.
But I don't know that you even have to mark that on your findings. The jail's already updated that, so.
Okay.
Devin, is that correct? Yeah. Yeah.
No, was she only on the VOPs? She was ROR?
On everything.
On
but
everything?
The jail's already updated
Oh,
that.
okay. All right.
I just figured it's easy. Just
All right.
Whatever
So
you
whatever the conditions, right? We find probable cause and the same condition. All right. Good luck. Shawnette Cunningham.
North Broward, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Cunningham, you're before the court on 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, and then you have counts 2, 3, and 4, which are felony violation of probation. Those are all no bond holds. So I do find probable cause. You will be before your division judge on Monday at 8:30, and then the bond on count 1 is $100. Good luck.
Shakira Johnson.
Great, thank you.
Judge Garcia would order you.
Raymond Palmer.
He's here, Maine judge approaching.
Mr. Palmer, you're before the court because you have an out-of-state felony hold out of the state of Arizona. So you'll be going to extradition court either Tuesday or Thursday of next week, okay? All right, Reynaldo Batista, is that your case, Mr. Lewis?
Good morning. Yes, Judge, it is. James Lewis on behalf of
Mr. Batista, your
Batista.
private attorney. How you doing today, Judge?
I'm doing well. Good afternoon. Yes.
Judge, if I
Good
could,
afternoon.
this is the victim in the case. It's an older case. Apparently, it was from last year. A non-in-custody capias was issued. Could we put her under brief oath so she can tell you a little something?
Sure.
Well, I would just ask Your Honor that she be advised. Not, she gave a sworn statement previously, so I don't. It's probably better before we're going to deal with, not going into the facts of the case. She has a right to talk to an attorney before.
She gave a sworn statement to the state attorney's office? Okay.
I don't know if it's the law enforcement or the state attorney's office.
Oh.
We couldn't have filed the information without a sworn statement.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I see what you're saying. So,
Exactly.
okay. All right.
It's more as to what she wants to happen as opposed to the facts.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure it's
Okay.
better to deal with it beforehand before she says anything then.
All right. So you want me to put her under?
Please.
Okay, ma'am, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth? Yes. Okay, you can put your hand down and please state your name for the record.
Brianna Hutchinson,
Okay?
Ms. Hutchinson, what's your relationship to Ronaldo Batista?
my baby father. We are in a relationship.
You gotta come closer to the mic so that we can hear you.
My baby's father.
Okay.
He's the father of my child.
Okay?
And are you guys comfortable being together
Yes.
currently?
Yes.
Now, these charges happened back in 2018, correct?
Yes.
What did you think had happened to the charges?
I thought they were dropped when we went to court.
Okay. You didn't know that the warrant was still in place?
No.
And to your knowledge, Mr. Batista didn't know that the warrant was still in place for these charges?
No, not at all.
Do you want to go forward in terms of prosecuting him on these charges that happened back in 2018?
No.
Are you afraid of him or anything of that
No,
nature?
I'm not.
Okay, in terms of, you want him to be able to come home and have contact
Yes.
with you?
Yes.
And you're not, again, not fearful of anything? You guys are in a good place right now?
Yes, I'm not in fear of anything.
Okay. And you don't want to go forward with these charges, is that a fair statement?
That's fair.
That's all I would have, Judge.
All right.
Judge, I understand probable cause has previously been found virtue of the warrant. I'd ask for a very reasonable bond under these circumstances, Judge, maybe about $2,500. And I'd ask that he be allowed to have contact with this young lady who's the mother of his child and who was asked for that.
Okay.
Your Honor, I can advise the court. I spoke with Mr. Lewis beforehand. I would be requesting a $10,000 bond. I am concerned about the level of violence alleged, that he was striking her vehicle with his vehicle while she was operating it. His criminal history, 2013, looks like 2 counts of illegal access to a computer with intent to defraud. Honestly, I don't have time to count all the charges, but easily over 15 counts of criminal use of personal identification information and over 10 counts of fraudulent use of personal identification information. He was sentenced to 2.5-year state prison. 2012 grand theft with a VOP, same prison sentence. 2012 grand theft between $5,000 and $10,000, VOP, same prison sentence. I can tell you, and I understand what the victim is testifying to, what Ms. Hutchinson's testifying to today. I can tell you when she gave a sworn statement, she did advise law enforcement that she was in fear for her life. Because this is a felony level offense, I would ask that the court impose an abundance of caution, impose a no contact order until further order of the court.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, I know that Mr. Lewis asked you that, and knowing that you're still under oath, I just want to ask you again, is anyone forcing you to do this?
No.
Did you just come forward on your, or how did you know that there was court today?
I got a phone call from his mom. She let me know the incident happened, and I let her know that this was something old, you know, and I thought it was already dropped and taken care of. We had no knowledge that this was still continuing.
When was the last time you saw Mr. Batista?
I've seen him recently. Yesterday, picking the baby up from school.
Okay. I am going to impose a $5,000 bond. And based on Ms. Hutchinson's testimony today, I will not impose a no contact order. So, all right.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Richardson.
Please approach the judge.
Mr. Richardson, you are before the court today for count 1, resisting officer without violence. Count 2, violation of probation. Counts 2 and 3, felony violation of probation. There are both no bond holds. I do find probable cause. Your bond on count 1 is $100, and you'll be before your division judge on Monday at 8:30. Robert Shelton.
Mr. Shelton is approaching judge, and he declined the services of public defender.
Mr. Shelton. Hello, Mr. Shelton. You're before the court for count 1 is petty theft, and count 2 is trespassing. And I do find probable cause as to both counts. Does the state wish to be heard as to any bond?
No, Your Honor, I don't know if, please have one moment.
Main jail, can you please turn off the mic? Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I would ask for $100 bond. Mr. Shelton was just arrested last Saturday on a capias from a municipal ordinance petty theft. He pled the case out and was released on Sunday. And it was at the same exact Walmart. He was arrested on the capias at the same Walmart that he's accused of stealing from today.
Mr. Shelton, did you hear what the state attorney said? All right. I am going to leave the bond in place at $25. Gotta post your bond.
And that's for just an order no return to that Walmart, Judge.
Now, do you understand that? That was just said. You cannot go back to Walmart. Okay. All right, good luck, sir.
Recognize this guy.
Eric Redmond. All right, Mr. Redmond is before the court. Count 1 is exposing sex organs in public. Count 2 is disorderly intoxication. And count 3 is a municipal ordinance violation. I do find probable cause. What does Mr. Redmond wish to do?
Judge, I tried calling over to North Broward at about a little after 1 o'clock, and there was no response there. So I'm just going to ask you, Mr. Redmond, what is it that you want to do in this case? Do you want to try to bond out and fight the charges? Do you want to try to resolve the charges today? What is it that you'd like to do?
I would like to resolve them, the first charge, so that I would like to.
Don't talk about the facts. And
Yes, sir.
I understand.
I would like to maybe get an ROR and fight this case, sir, because it's not something that I would like on my record, and it's not what it seems to appear to be.
I understand because it's written differently than what it, and I understand that. So, Judge, what I would ask is if the court would consider RORing him on all 3 counts at this time so that he can go out and fight the charges.
Your Honor, I would be opposing an ROR. Mr. Redmond, this is his 3rd arrest this year. Every single arrest is in the same general area. His last 2 were at 1991 South Road, State Road 7. Once for a trespass, then in February for resisting an officer and trespass. Same location. Usually he's under the influence. He's just been a nuisance to the area, Your Honor, and now this is just so over the top of even what he's alleged to have done in the past that, customers are trying to use a convenience store and they have to watch him relieving himself, exposing himself against the front glass door of the food mart.
No, I was at a bus stop, sir.
All right, Mr. Redmond, don't talk about your case. Your bond, I'll leave the bond at $100 on count 1. Good
I'd
luck.
ask for no return to Lauren Food Mart, Your Honor.
What is the name of it?
Lauren Food Mart.
Did you hear that, sir? You cannot go back to that store, food
Yes,
mart.
ma'am.
All right,
Yes,
good luck, sir. Alfredo Perez.
Bonded.
Malik Macomb.
Bonded.
John Newsom.
He's here, Judge, approaching. Come on up, sir.
All right, Mr. Newsom, you're before the court for possession of codeine. And I do find probable cause.
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Newsom, I see the $1,000 bond from what he advised me. There's no one that's going to be able to post that bond, nor is he in a position to post it. He is financially indigent. He is homeless. However, he does have a mailing address where he can receive future correspondence from the court in order to make sure he comes to court. So, Judge, at this time, we're asking for the court to consider releasing Mr. Newsom on pre-trial release.
All right. And the state wish to be heard?
I'm just seeing in the last year a lot of capias, a lot of arrests for failures to appear in court. Mostly low-level stuff, but it just fact remains. I understand he can get his mail someplace, he just doesn't come back to court.
All right, Mr. Newsom, this address that you have, is it someplace that you go and check often for your mail?
Yeah, I do.
Because if you don't check, there is going to, you are going to miss court, and then there's going to be a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I will release you to pretrial supervision. You need to report by Monday. If you don't report to pretrial, there will be a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And also, if you don't come back to court when you're supposed to, there's going to be a warrant for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck. Justin Donovan.
Judge, he declined the public defender's.
Mr. Donovan is approaching, Judge, and he declined the service of public defender.
All right, Mr. Donovan, do you have a private attorney or?
No, but I think my dad is getting one.
Okay. All right. So you have 2 counts of possession with intent to sell or deliver cannabis within 1,000 feet of a park.
School.
Yes, of the school. And so I do find probable cause. And Mr. Donovan, are you working?
Yes.
Where do you work?
Publix.
How long have you been working at Publix?
4 months.
1 month?
Yes. I just transferred to Publix from Burger King. I was working at Burger King for about 8 months.
Okay.
And I got moved to Publix.
All right. And so you tell me that your family is trying to hire an attorney for you. Is that correct?
Yes. I can't afford my bond right now, and it's because it's too high. And I'm currently attending school, and I'm on target to graduate. And I have work this tomorrow.
You're attending school where?
Linear James Education Center.
Okay.
And I'm on target to graduate.
All right.
He
Yes.
just got off juvenile probation February this year on some very serious charges. Felony.
He just
At least one was a second-degree felony.
he completed probation, you said?
Yes, but he was just got off probation first week of February. You know what?
Yes.
One moment. One moment, Your Honor. I think he got off probation the day this happened. Yeah, from what I can tell, his probation ended February 6th at midnight. Or 12 a.m., I'm sorry.
All right. I'm sir, your bond on each count is $5,000. Good luck. Marcus Mark.
Judge, I've been advised to be bonded.
Okay. Matthew Mateo Torres.
Bonded as well.
Sony Lundy.
Bonded as well.
Stephen Matola.
3 for 3. Bonded.
Oh, okay. Otis Washington.
He's here present at main, Judge, and he declined the service as public defender.
All right. And did we make a call for the Spanish interpreter? There was.
I did, Judge. They said that they were
Okay. No. I just want to make sure because this was a reset from this morning.
I did, and they, yeah, they were aware
All right. Mr. Washington.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. You have a private attorney, or you have one that you're considering?
Yes, ma'am. My bond was paid for.
Is Mr. Washington's bond posted? Hold on just a moment.
All right.
Okay, so it's not showing in the system yet that the bond's been posted, but it's your understanding that they are in process?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you are before the court then for count 1 is grand theft of a firearm, count 2 is possession of cocaine, count 3 is failure to obey police, counts 4, 5, and 6 is falsely
Basically, credit card forgery.
Is it making it, or is it using? It's a counterfeit using counterfeit credit card.
It's basically forgery, Your Honor, and I think it has to do with the very last line of the report. I think is what it's referring to.
Okay, and then count 7 is a traffic infraction, not for magistrate. So I do find probable cause, and I will leave the bonds in place. It's 1,000, 1,000, 25. 1,000, 1,000, and 1,000. Okay. All right. Good luck, sir. Terrence Wright.
Judge, he's here at Maine and approaching, and he declined the services of public defense.
All right, Mr. Wright. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, you are before the court for count 1 is trafficking in oxycodone. Count 2 is possession with intent to sell or deliver or manufacture cocaine. And count 3 is possession of cannabis 20 grams or less. I do find probable cause. Sir, are you hiring a private attorney or do you have one?
I'm gonna get one.
Okay. All right. State, did you wish to be heard as to the bonds?
Your Honor, I'll just leave it at, I know it's obviously a very high standard bond. That is because if convicted of this offense, Mr. Wright faces a 25-year minimum mandatory prison sentence. Based on that, Your Honor, I would ask that the court leave the bond in place. If Mr. Wright wishes to seek a modification, I think a more thorough bond hearing in front of his assigned judge where the judge can allow more time and detail, more, can have a more specialized hearing would be appropriate, Your Honor.
All right, so, Mr. Wright, I do find probable cause. Your bond on count 1 is $750,000. Count 2, it's $2,500, and count 3 is $100. Good luck, sir.
So how much is it in total?
Aiken Richards.
No problem.
All right, Mr. Richards, you are before the court. Count 1 is battery on an officer. Count 2 is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. Count 3 is possession of drug paraphernalia. Count 4, resisting officer without violence. Count 5, resisting officer with violence. Count 6 is loitering or prowling. And I do find probable cause as to all those counts. Mr. Richards.
Judge, again, I had called over to the jail and nobody was there when I had initially called over there earlier.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ask Mr. Richards, do you have any amount of bond that your family can post at this time? Mr. Richards, can you hear me?
No bond.
Do you speak English?
No.
What language do you speak?
Speak a little English.
Okay,
What language do you speak?
Just a little English.
What?
Little English.
A little English. But what is your first language? Where are you from?
Language is English.
Your language is English, so you do understand English.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Richards, do you or your family have any money in the bank that you could afford any amount of bond with?
Sure.
Okay. And how long have you lived here in the South Florida area?
Not sure.
And
2 years.
I'm sorry? How many years? I missed it.
It says few,
Okay.
I don't know.
And do you have any children?
One child.
And how old is that child?
Not sure.
Do you work?
I work.
Where do you work at?
I'm not sure right now.
Okay. And do you know how long you've worked at that job?
No.
What kind of job is it?
I'm not sure what job it is.
Judge, at this point, I have no other questions. I would just ask that he be screened at the jail to make sure he's getting any and all appropriate medications.
Yes, I agree with you. Just based on the affidavit, it sounds like that was the same situation, so.
And obviously, I have no objection to whatever type of screening the defense is requesting. I think the issues are clear on their face. In light of that, Your Honor, based on the allegations that Mr. Richards struck and elbowed an officer, at least one officer in the face, I'm requesting a $2,500 bond on one, $1,000 bond on 5.
Judge, I have a feeling that he has very limited funds. I would just be asking for a lower bond than that. I would ask with regards to counts 1 and counts 5 that the bond be set at $1,000 each at this point. And if we need a modification, we can always set it in front of the division judge.
Yeah. I do find probable cause, and I will impose the $1,000 on 1 and 5. And he needs a medical screening, some mental health screening.
Judge, do I just prepare an order for that? Is that how?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, good luck, sir. Barry Williams,
He's a medical research, Your Honor.
okay. Thank you. And then we're waiting on the Spanish interpreter for.
She just got here.
Look at you, you're right on target. Eric Raymer Hernandez.
He's approaching, Judge, your main.
Mr. Hernandez,
Señor Hernández,
you are before the court this afternoon
esta tarde está usted acá ante la corte
for possession of forged or altered instrument.
Por posesión de 4 instrumentos alterados, 4 instrumentos de pago alterados.
Or it just means that he had an altered check.
En otras palabras, un cheque alterado, cambiado.
All right. And I do find probable cause,
Encuentro causa probable.
and I will hear from the parties as to bond.
And Your Honor, interpreter, I didn't hear you about the bond.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you waiting on me?
I mean, I'm not asking for any kind of bond increase.
Oh, okay, sorry. Judge, I'm going to be asking for the court to consider releasing Mr. Rainier, ROR on pretrial release.
Su abogado está pidiendo a la corte que le dé la libertad bajo palabra.
Judge, he's been residing here in South Florida for the past 6 years.
¿Ha estado usted residiendo en la Florida por los 6 años pasados?
He's 34 years old.
Tiene 34 años.
He lives in Hialeah with his uncle and his aunt.
Y usted vive en Hialeah con su tía y su tío.
What's the problem is when he was arrested, he didn't have his phone with him.
Cuando lo arrestaron, usted no tenía su teléfono celular con usted.
And he doesn't have the phone numbers memorized of his family.
Y no se sabe de memoria los números telefónicos de su familia.
Now, in speaking with Mr. Rainier, he advised me basically he has a clean record.
Al hablar con el señor Rainier, él me ha asegurado que tiene un récord limpio.
If that turns out to be the case, as Mr. Lender will probably check, I'm going to be asking for the court to consider releasing him straight ROR or in the alternative ROR to pretrial.
Si eso es cierto, yo voy a pedirle a la corte que le dé la libertad bajo palabra al señor Rainier o la libertad bajo palabra con los servicios de pretrial release, libertad anterior al juicio.
Based on the allegations, I'll release Mr. Rainier to pretrial, standard pretrial supervision.
En vista de lo argumentado, voy a darle al señor Rainier la libertad bajo palabra, sin el standard pretrial.
All right, do we have anyone else who needs a Spanish interpreter?
Not at me.
Last call for Spanish interpreter. Thank you, you too. All right, let's go to the hearing docket. The felony hearing docket, we have Nelson Pai.
Mr. Pai is approaching, Judge Chairman. Come on up, sir.
So Mr. Pai was arrested on April 9th. So he's back for a second look on his bond. How much bond?
It's a $5,000 bond from a 2016 not in custody, Your Honor. I'd ask that the court leave the bond in place and allow him to go see his assigned judge. This involved he was hired as a contractor to work in the victim's home in Coral Springs. He left his home, the victim left his home, returned, and when he returned, he noticed that a safe filing cabinet had been forced open. Collectibles, credit cards, jewelry, other valuable items had been removed. The estimated total loss was $64,285. Several fraudulent transactions were discovered on his stolen credit cards and an attempt on his Citi MasterCard in the amount of $1,283.
All right, I'm denying ROR or bond change
Judge,
this time.
my understanding is the offense date is 2016. So it's like a 3-year-old case. My understanding is being Mr. Pine. Since then, he hasn't been arrested. Judge, he lives in Davie. He gets disability approximately $700 per month. So that's why I'm asking for the court to reconsider and release Mr. Pine on pretrial release.
All right, that'll be denied.
Okay.
Freddie Thompson.
County, Your Honor. Mr. Remy Thompson. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Thompson.
This is a motion.
Thomas is here at Main, Judge. Mr.
No.
Thomas is Main.
Freddie
Well, I have Freddie Thompson. That's what I'm looking at.
My bad.
Okay. And he's here for
It's a 30-day motion, Your
30-day
Honor.
motion.
State has not filed an information. Mr. Thompson is entitled to an ROR on these charges.
All right, Mr. Thompson, granting ROR at this time. Sir, it does not mean that the state cannot file the charges. Just means that they haven't filed it within the time that you've been locked up. So you need to make sure you pay attention to your mail to see if they file the charges and if you have to come back to court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes,
Stephen Morganti was released.
he is on which docket?
The
Oh,
misdemeanor second.
all right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Christopher Luttrell,
Hold on, Your Honor.
okay. Mr. Luttrell is for a 30-day motion.
Your Honor, I just checked the math. Today is the 31st day. Because the 33rd day would fall on a Sunday, I'd ask that this matter be reset for next Monday, the 15th.
You represented by the PD's office? Is he, are you representing? All right, okay.
And Your Honor, while he's looking, this would just be pursuant to the rules of procedure regarding computation of time.
Yes. All right, Mr. Luttrell, you'll be back on Monday so that we can see where we are, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. Thomas Lemmy,
He's here, I mean.
all right, Mr. Lemmy is back on for a second look. He was arrested on April 9th.
Judge, you released him on Elmo Level 2.
Yes.
I believe my understanding, speaking to Mr. Lemmy, he was advised by pretrial he was going to be at second chance. He actually 1 month up front, but I believe from what he was informed by pretrial that he's not welcomed at second chance anymore. So in a sense, he's now homeless. Judge, my understanding is he hasn't been in trouble in quite a while. In reviewing the PC affidavit, I don't know if this is a residue case or not. I believe in reading the PC it says they found him in possession of a can which was cut in half with some sort of powdery substance on bottom. I don't know if that's their definition for residue or if they're implying there is a certain amount. I don't know. Judge, but don't say anything. He's 30 years old, gets disability. He gets approximately $9.75 per month. If it turns out to be true that he hasn't been arrested in, say, in a year on any felony charge, Judge, I'm asking for the court to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
And if I recall, I think the court's concern was that it was represented that, yeah, he had a place to stay at a treatment center. The court questioned why the allegations are that he's in the middle of a field in the middle of the night with 4 other gentlemen and methamphetamine. And I think that's why the court, I don't want to speak for Your Honor, but the impression I got was that's why you were setting a GPS. But I could be wrong.
No, I don't know. It's just that, I don't remember everything. I remember a lot of things, but I don't remember everything.
Yeah, no, I know. And I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. And
Right.
from what I can see, that's why I didn't see, it
And
wasn't.
Judge, I think what Mr. Lunder's representing is true. I think that was the court's concern.
Okay,
That's what I advise you. Yes, he was at second chance. He paid up front $600, and now he's not welcome there. I mean, so everything is still true as it was that day, as it is today, except now we know he's not welcome back there anymore. So obviously, I don't know if he's gonna, when he gets out, hopefully they give him a refund and do the right thing if he's not gonna be using their services. But at this time, in essence, he's homeless.
I
So,
see,
Judge, that is why-
pretrial, I'm smiling only because pretrial is over here raising their hand, so.
According to Chuck Troy from First Step Sober House, he is not welcome back to the program because he actually owes the program money and he refuses to follow their instructions. So that is why they're not welcoming him back.
Judge, it wasn't first step. It was second chance. And I think that's what we put on the record, and that's what we were talking about.
Apparently,
To that other program in the past. but
apparently it's
second
first
chance
step / second chance that they,
A second chance is the women's program there. But second chance, the second chance I'm speaking of is a totally different place. It's a totally different place. It's on Northwest 15th Court in Fort Lauderdale. It has nothing to do with Kelly Day and Chuck Joy.
So then I guess maybe reach out and contact the correct one. Maybe he is welcome back. So maybe.
1540 Northwest 15th Court, and that's what they use to find the contact person.
1540 Northwest what?
15th Court. They use
15th Court.
2540 Northwest 15th Court.
No? All right. Okay. Mr. Lemmy, I'll release you to standard pretrial with random drug testing. How about that? And so it's gonna be up to you to, make sure that you
So
do
Monday, I'll have to show up. Yeah. Okay.
What's that? Yeah, but you would think the community would be like. Sober.
Okay. All right. I believe we're at the end of our afternoon docket. Thank you, everyone.
Zone.